What's up, everybody? It's Joe from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we are kicking off 2025 with Martin with a huge refresh of the Standard Series. We're bringing you all the guitars, tons of content on all of the new refreshed models and new models like this incredible new for 2025 D-17. Check out empiremusic.com. Call us 412-343-5299. No, we never use stock images, and you know we do full pro setups on everything we sell, dialing the guitar into the best playability, lowest action it can have without buzzing, giving you a great playing experience. We're really proud of that. You can chat with us on the site. We will get you an incredible Martin guitar. I am really excited to be here today because this has been something we've been working with Martin for more than a year almost, on the new refresh series that not only has incredible new design features that make them sound and feel better, but they also have new models like this D-17. So strap in, this is going to be a little bit longer video than I typically do just because I have a lot to cover. So let's start with the stuff we pretty much know. The D-17 is an all solid wood, Nazareth made mahogany guitar. And it's in the Standard Series, so standard dovetail neck joint. This satin finish is gorgeous, hard shell case. So that covers, you know, the 17 series has been around for a long time, actually in the 1800s with spruce tops and rosewood back and sides. In the 30s, in 30s and 40s, you saw a lot of tenors and double O's with all mahogany. This is inspired from there. So the D-17 gives you Martin's famed dreadnought shape with the all solid mahogany design. Vintage tuners, you know, the vintage Grovers are gorgeous. Just a really, really beautiful guitar. Mahogany gives you this incredibly sweet sounding response, very round, but still has that bass that Martin players love, very throaty. Ebony fingerboard and bridge. And new for 2025, bone nut, and all new Standard Series are going to come with a bone set of bridge pins or ebony set of bridge pins. In this case, bone. Really, really incredible. Let's talk about all the stuff that's going on here. It's almost hard to kind of gather, but I'm going to kind of do first the things that make a difference sonically, and then we'll go feel, and then we'll do cosmetics. Sonically, the huge upgrade for the Standard Series this year is the introduction standard of the Golden Era bracing design with Sitka Spruce Golden Era braces. What are the Sitka Spruce Golden Era braces? The Golden Era brace design is a more refined set of braces. They are carved deeper, removing tension from the top, allowing the tops to sound more breathy, more full, more bassy, more round, giving it a more vintage tone. These guitars, now Justin, on this one you won't see one, but Justin's done tons, check out tons of comparisons of the 2025 models versus the 2024s, and you'll absolutely hear it. So on the models that did exist before, we're gonna have the ability, you can check them all out to hear them side by side. The Golden Era bracing design is as close to custom shop as you can get, and a lot of the guitars from the custom shop come with Golden Era braces now in the Standard Series included in the instrument, which is unbelievable. So when you play these guitars, they're massively responsive. You feel the top, the backs and sides moving against you. It's immediate. No matter what shape or size you play, they're thunderous. Really, really awesome. And what's really important about it is it's fast responding. So you play with a light touch, you get killer tone. And as you open it up, the headroom is unbelievable, and you keep all that articulation. They've done a masterful job of giving you a vintage sound that's clean, but fuller, fatter, and I think has way more overtones and characteristics. I think it's a more complex sound, without a doubt. Really, really just an incredible sounding instrument, hyper responsive. So sonically, Golden Era braces, that's the kind of the soul of the guitar, and that's been upgraded for 2025. Now let's go to how the feel is changing for 2025. Martin is going to a thinner fingerboard that is the authentic thickness for the fingerboard. So if you know us from our custom expert guitars, the D28 and D18 authentics, the 0018 and 0028 authentics, those guitars have a thinner fingerboard. Why is that important? It allows for rounder edges on the fingerboard. When you put your hand on the guitar, you'll absolutely notice that the depth of the fingerboard is slightly reduced, and it allows for them to break those in and give you a more played-in feel, which is unbelievable. The thickness that they took off of the bridge, they've added to the weight of the neck. So now it feels similar to the previous guitar. So the neck isn't super thick, or it's not super thin, right? We're not just losing something without replacing it. They just kind of shifted the weight to the meat of the neck where you lose on the fingerboard. So now you get this really comfy played in, I think a very homey feeling guitar. It feels like a vintage instrument for sure. It definitely feels like it's been played through. So you have that amazing feel difference, and they also took the heel down. So this heel is slightly reduced. Is that a massive difference? Does it like change your whole earth? It doesn't, but it really works all in conjunction, because now we have this slightly reduced feel here, and as we move up the neck, we don't have this bulky block here anymore, which is really nice. So they've reduced that. And to add to your feel benefits, the bridge is now kind of like a rounded bridge, okay? If you play a standard series 2024 model or prior, these are like 90-degree angles. All the touch points on these are very, very sharp. So if you like the palm mute or rest your hand there, you feel that kind of sharp thing. Again, not a reason to come out and buy a whole new guitar just because it has a rounded feel on the bridge, but it allows for a much more comfortable playing experience when you rest your hand there, which is super nice. Those are really important things to think about, because when you're playing an instrument, you're experiencing all these things at once. And while none of the feel changes will be dramatically different, again, the heel being reduced, the fingerboard being reduced, but the bridge being a little bit more comfortable to play, not one of those features alone makes a massive difference. But when you pair all of them together, then you add the golden era bracing, it really transcends through the whole instrument, and you have a new, unique playing experience, which is really, really important. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that I like to do two things. I like to do dynamic range, and I like to do the mids of the guitar. Does the guitar stay clean and balanced through the mids? Really, really important to me. And then how does the guitar sound quiet to big? Now, with the dreadnought body shape, you always have this massive ability to get big tone out. Even with the mahogany top, this would be like the most powerful mahogany top can perform. Now, you have natural compression with mahogany, so you're not gonna have as much boom as you would with a spruce top. But this thing sounds huge, and it really fills a room. The golden era bracing is especially important on a guitar like this, because while this guitar would have a limited ceiling compared to a spruce top guitar, now it's opening up and giving you more output, which is really, really important. And I think what you're gonna hear, and I know what you're gonna hear, is we increase the tenacity of the pick attack, the guitar is gonna continue to give you great tone without breaking up. And that, to me, is like the holy grail of life. A loud guitar that you can't hear isn't articulate, it just sounds like mud, it doesn't do us any favors. Like, what's the point of that? Just like you're gonna notice that with this instrument, when we play it quietly, it's gonna be way more complex than you would typically get out of a dreadnought guitar. It's not gonna sound just like kind of like weak and underpowered. It's gonna have this fullness to it that is just brilliant. And Martin just nailed it with that feature. So let's go ahead and play through, and we're gonna touch on a handful of other cosmetics to touch about before we get back to the end here. So let's go ahead and check out the dynamic range and the mids. an absolutely gorgeous sounding guitar. It's like both spectrums are like really, really interesting to me. When the light playing on the dynamic side sounds just so full of life. So if you want to play quiet, you're recording, if you like to play and sing and you don't want to play the guitar heavy, but you want the dreadnought type of sound profile, you're going to be able to play and sing over this and get the complexities of the dreadnought sound without playing so heavily that you have to like drown out your voice or play outside of an attack that you normally do. But as you do open it up, for a mahogany top guitar, this thing just blasts. I mean, it's really, really surprising. When you're pushing and pushing and pushing, you can hear the guitar pushing out more tone, feel it moving against your body, and it's not feeling like it's going to stop. And then you finally hit that ceiling, but it's beyond where 99.9% of us are ever going to play on a regular basis. It's just really, really able to handle all that attack. Then you get to what I think is you have the tricky part of creating tone with light attack and sounding complex. Heavy attack and sounding articulate is really, really difficult. And that marries to the idea when we get through the mids, you have these beautiful blooming notes all through the mids, really rich and sweet. And as you slide down the neck and you get into the first position, you have the ability to do all those hammer-ons and play through, and it just sounds really, really interesting. And when I say complex, it's just not this sterile kind of one-bit sound. It's like you have all of these interesting things happening around the bloom of the sound, but you keep the articulation of each note and sustain for days. Now, the sustain comes from a handful of places. This guitar, very light. The bracing is thinned out, which is really important. And then what they've also done for the new refresh for 2025 on all the standard series models, this is obviously a new guitar, so nothing to compare it to, but they've taken the nut, they've cut it to the angle of the headstock. If you look at go into your guitar archives at home, and you have a 2018, 2019, whatever, Martin, 2024, you're gonna notice that the nut is cut straight in line with your fingerboard, whereas now it's slanted. So Brent will take a shot of this here for us and show it. But now the angle of the base of the nut is cut in line with the headstock. That's a vintage inspired design, so that's what they used to do. But it changes the break angle slightly of the guitar and gives you more sustain. It's the genius of these little tweaks that, again, paired all together, allow for this incredible kind of masterpiece of a guitar that's phenomenally made, very high quality. The dovetail neck joint, iconic X-brace with a golden era design. Match it with a more comfortable bridge, a thinner fingerboard that allows for more rounded edges, a more broken in feel, which is what we of course want. We want more sustain. You pair all those things together and you end up with an absolute home run. So let's talk about what's new for this guitar, which is basically all of it. The D-17 is all solid wood, made in USA, dovetail neck joint, standard series guitar. The all mahogany gives you sweet tone, really round, full, beautiful mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard and bridge. And the new features give you the golden era bracing design, which is a thinner bracing design, allowing the guitar to be more powerful, offer more complex tones, much more complicated to build. You're getting a thinner fingerboard, which allows for a more rounded in feel, more broken in. You're getting a nut that's cut to the angle of the headstock, allowing for more sustain. You're getting the ease of play of your bridge and your heel being reduced, all married into a new design for 2025. So here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to go to empiremusic.com, see all of our amazing Martin guitars. We have a huge selection of custom shop guitars. All the new Martin standard series are here for 2025 in stock, ready to go at Empire. Full pro setup included in all of our purchases. So when you get one, we dial it in before we ship it. We pro pack it, make sure it's an incredible experience. The guys here are glad to help you out. We can chat with you through the site. We can talk to you over the phone. You can click and buy if you just know you want one. We're happy to help you out in any way we can. New for 2025, the new Martin D-17. Check out empiremusic.com, and thanks for watching.